So yeah, this is just a little video that's really, it's a bit of fun. It's nothing too serious, so well, it's not offensive, but yeah, you'll see what I mean. It's just a few fragrances to break up with, to get rid of your partner. Obviously I'm not implying you should do that, or you know, whatever, but me and Sam Smells, were just thinking what a great video that would make. So obviously I did it, and it's not just a list of fragrances, obviously with me. Follow some sort of story with it as well, so yeah. Okay. Now of course, the first kind of stages are when you have that realisation that, oh god, sick of this person. You know, they do my head in, they're annoying, I'm bored. You know, whatever the various reasons may be. But you never want to be the bad person, really, do you? So the first kind of step is them steps of tension, aren't they, really, let's call it. So what you want to do is really, you don't want to be stuck with them, hanging around with them, do you? So you really, what you want is not to go away in a huff, you want to be sent away. So you'd start with something mild. You know, you're not entirely sure you want rid of them, so let's say, let's go for Mugler's Alien Man. Now it's not a bad fragrance at all, and it's not enough to, you know, for somebody to really hate you, but it's quite weird. Well, I don't know, but everyone who's smelt it on me kind of doesn't like it, and I do, but it's the kind of fragrance where you'd be sent to another room. Now it's apparently got dill in it, whatever, don't really get that much of a vibe from it. It's a little bit green, it's kind of mainly a woody fragrance. It is quite unique, to be fair, so I wouldn't say it's, you know, it's groundbreaking, but it's woody, it's got a little bit of sweetness, bit of greenness in there, obviously from the kind of slightly herby notes. But it's a really kind of interesting fragrance, but if I kept wearing it round them, eventually you just get sick of smelling it on me and sick of the unusualness, and hopefully I'll be banished to another room, which means you get to chill out where there's a bit of space and a bit of time to yourself. So that's the first one. The next step on this kind of journey is to really annoy them, isn't it? To get them to start to dislike you even more. And for me, what I've picked for that is what would be one of their favourite perfumes. You know, one they like to wear a lot. It's a shame I don't have a fragrance to get rid of these fecking golfers stalking me around. But yes, what I'd go for that is, obviously if it was a lady of mine, a partner of mine, then I'd be hoping they'd wear lots of black opium all the time. So I'd start wearing their black opium constantly, so much that it kind of start to empty their bottle, and that would really annoy them, wouldn't it? And that would cause a bit of tension. Obviously we all know black opium, kind of lovely, beautiful vanilla, jasmine, not overly floral, a bit dark, a bit musky. It's got little splashes of coffee in there. It's really quite a gorgeous fragrance, and again, it's not anything offensive or anything, is it? All I'd be doing is wearing their perfume. And if they started to hate me for that, well, that's their business. So yeah, the next point is, obviously you don't want this person lying next to you in bed particularly, do you? You don't want to, you know, you're not in the mood for a bit of how's your father, you got a bit of a headache, you know, you can't be bothered with it really. So what you'd need to wear there is something to make them keep their distance, and know that you're trying to make them keep their distance, but subtly. Remember, you're trying to get them to dump you, not the other way around. And what I've gone for that is Auto Parese's Taroni. Now again, not a bad fragrance, it's perfectly pleasant. It's got little, it's often compared as like a red black Afghano. And I can see that. There's a redness running through it. I think there's a bit of raspberry giving it that redness. But it's absolutely, utterly nuclear. You need one spray and it would fill these fields. It is very strong. It's dark ambery, smoky. I think it's got oud in, well, an oud accord or oud. It is just unbelievably strong. It is not one you'd ever wear to bed. unless you were insane, really. So yeah, I think they kind of get the message that you don't want them anywhere near you. So for kind of keeping space and distance in bed is autopoiesis to Rome. Next up is, you kind of you don't necessarily have to cheat or whatever, but you want to just, kind of hit the final nail in the coffin that you're not interested anymore. So you need a Tommy fragrance, a fragrance to go out on the pull, on the lash with your friends, and it need to be something damn special. So I go for Back to Black from Killian, which is, nobody could resist that. It's a beautiful, sweet, honey tobacco, little hint of a naughty cherry one. It's one that someone would smell on you and want to nibble on your neck. So it's a perfect fragrance. And if she knew you were wearing that every time you went out, she knew what was in your mind. She'd know you'd be wanting to attract other people, maybe. So it's the perfect one for that. And again, you don't have to be doing anything when you're out. You could just wear that fragrance and go sit in the car. What does she know? Because really, you wanted to break up with her because you're just sick of the noise constantly and the nagging and all of that. So yeah, for giving the impression of that you're going out on the pull, Tommy, whatever you want to call it, is Killian's Back to Black. And the final one is giving them the impression maybe there's somebody else if they still haven't got the message. So there doesn't have to be anyone else. Trust me, there wouldn't, because you want the peace and quiet, don't you? But you could just casually drop into the conversation that you smell this wonderful fragrance on somebody whilst you were out. This lovely brunette who you were speaking to at the bar. Again, this doesn't need to have happened. But what you need to do then is start wearing that fragrance, and for that I've picked Alien, which again is one of my favourites. It's so seductive, that dark jasmine, that white musk in it. It's just a really magical fragrance. It does kind of make me go weak at the knees. So if I started wearing that, she'd think, well, he's wearing that to remind himself. So yeah, it would also kind of give that impression. Or maybe if there's one they hate, you could pick that as well. But for this, I'm just picking Alien from Mugler, which kind of goes with the first one, doesn't it? Okay, so that's that one. Okay, so you've succeeded. They've dumped you. What a shame. And what they've done now is they're on the way. They're moving out. They're packing all the clothes just to make sure they never ever come back. The final kind of nail in the coffin fragrance is to spray all their clothes, all their suitcases, everything with Oud for Greatness, which will never ever go away. So it'll remind them of you, which is always sweet, isn't it? But it'll never go away, and they'll certainly never come back because they'll never want to smell all that again. And it's a good thing to spray on all the things you don't want them to take as well, because you won't want too much of that around the house. And Oud for Greatness is a fragrance that many people love, to be fair. It's very nuclear. In my humble opinion, it's incredibly synthetic. I'm not sure, I don't know, I'm no expert, not sure if there's any oud in there. It's just a very, very, very loud, super sweet, got this irritatingly synthetic, maybe, lavender in there. It's just quite horrendous and it's quite toxic, but everyone loves it because it's damn strong, isn't it? So it would be perfect to just leave them with that lasting memory, so they don't ring you again, they don't text you, they don't come back. Oud for Greatness, the final nail in the coffin. So yeah, it's just a little brief video, just a bit of fun, just a bit of a different list. But if you want to split up with someone, then you should probably tell them, shouldn't you? I can't say I've ever experienced having to get rid of someone. Normally they're just gone, aren't they? Poor me. No, I think I managed to be irritating without even trying, which sometimes is good, isn't it? But anyway, just a bit of fun, folks. Alright, thanks, bye. And adding that, what would you wear? What would you wear to get rid of someone? Doesn't necessarily need to be, you know, whole breakup situation. It could be to get rid of irritating people who keep coming to your house, or people who keep trying to talk to you, or that annoying person at work who won't leave you alone and keeps trying to talk to you. Just generally, what would you wear to get rid of other humans, I suppose. Alright, thanks.